Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a little log cabin in the backwoods of Kentucky. Lincoln once said that he went to school by the littles, a little now and a little then. He loved to read and eagerly read everything he could get his hands on. Even as a young boy, Abraham Lincoln was a hard worker. In the morning, he would work on his family's farm. After his work there was done, he would walk several miles to neighboring farms and cut down trees and split them into rails to make fences. Abraham Lincoln was once quoted as saying that the only thing he enjoyed more than reading was hard work. He said that one prepared him for success while the other helped overcome failures. Abraham Lincoln spent his young adult years in several occupations, from a captain in the army to a blacksmith to a deputy surveyor and even a merchant. It was during his employment as a merchant that he got the nickname Honest Abe, because he would travel several miles after his shop closed to return change that had been left at the counter at his business. People knew that he could be counted on to do the right thing no matter what. In 1836, at the age of 27, Lincoln took a test to become a lawyer. He moved to Springfield, the new capital of Illinois, and practiced law. In 1842, he married Mary Todd, and after several failed attempts, he was elected to Congress. In 1858, Abraham Lincoln was the Republican candidate for the Senate. He was against slavery, a practice he had seen years before while visiting New Orleans, and firmly believed the cause of personal freedom for all people. He became very popular with the people of the country because of his easygoing nature and his ability to reach and relate to the common man. Many songs were written about him and became more and more popular every month.
Lincoln and liberty too. Then up with our banner so glorious, the star-spangled red, white, and blue. We'll fight till our banner's victorious for Lincoln and liberty too.
Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States. In 1860, he was the first Republican to become president. Shortly after he was elected as President of the United States, the Southern states withdrew from the United States and formed the Confederate States of America. The South depended on slaves for their economy, and the North did not believe in slavery. The Civil War broke out, and Lincoln supported keeping the United States intact. On January 1st, 1863, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing all the slaves. Several years later, after a very important battle at Gettysburg, where almost 8,000 men died in 3 days of fighting, President Lincoln gave one of his most famous speeches at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, declaring the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
87 years ago, our forefathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure.
With 15,000 people listening that day, in only about 3 minutes' time, President Lincoln unified a tired nation and focused their hearts and minds on what was needed to end the Civil War and to preserve the Union. The war ended just as Lincoln was beginning his second term as president. In his planning for peace, the president was gracious and generous, encouraging Southerners to lay down their arms and join speedily in binding up the nation's wounds. Within days of his inauguration, while he was attending a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., Abraham Lincoln was shot and killed by a Confederate spy named John Wilkes Booth. President Lincoln is considered by many to have been one of our greatest presidents and is recognized as an excellent example of the values of honesty and integrity, respect for individual, and a champion of human rights. Our country remembers President Lincoln by using his image at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., the Mount Rushmore National Memorial in South Dakota, the $5 bill, and the Lincoln penny. I am thankful that President Lincoln was our president at a time when we needed a man like him most. He kept our nation together and brought freedom to all men and women, regardless of the color of their skin.